Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you're a different generation, Jamie. That's,
Listen,
sorry.
I'm not.
Well, you won't be soon, but
actually,
you
I
are.
might be.
You are, but not for long.
You get your AARP card yet?
I'm 50.
So we didn't start yet. So I'm turning 65, and I think I have to. I know I don't look it, but
65?
I will be September. But
definitely not
I
the
think I
same
have to do
age.
something, right? Like, don't I have to sign up before I get like penalized or something?
I got Medicare?
Yeah, I think you have to sign up.
Hello. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it covers your company, no?
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
You're
are
you're
a
not
good
gonna start collecting, are you, till you're 70-something?
guy. No, not until ever, hopefully.
Don't say that. You know, that's what happened to my mother. She died before she could collect a dime.
Oh no, I meant.
That was
No, I
cruel.
didn't mean that. I meant the other way.
It's depressing.
Yeah, she died at 69, never collected a dime. Okay, we can start. Welcome to the July 2nd version of the Rybrook Zoning Board of Appeals. With us this evening, we have Village Council Bob Zitt, Village Building Inspector Steve Hughes, Board of Trustees Liaison David Heiser. And this evening, we have 3 of the 5 members, which means that in order to have a successful application, you need a unanimous vote of the 3 of us going forward. If you're going to be making a presentation, please come to the podium, state your name, your address, the nature of the variance, and your relationship to the client, if in fact you are not the client. We have 2 applications this evening. The first one is going to be adjourned, so that the second application will be the first application we'll hear. So let me go through the formal process of adjourning that first meeting. First item is ZBA 24-003, Joseph Nerenberg, 9 Country Ridge Drive, widen full length of driveway and install stormwater management system. They have requested that their application be adjourned to the August 6th meeting. The second application is ZBA 24-012, Michael Rifelli and Laren Webber, 43 Rock Ridge Drive, construct a second-story addition and interior alterations. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, public hearing is open, please.
So, good evening. My name is Todd Page. I reside at 21 Ernst Road in Cortland Manor. I am here in the place of John Scarlato, the architect, who couldn't make it tonight. Something about a birthday. I don't know. I just didn't pay attention. And we're representing the clients who are also seated in the audience for this application for 43 Rock Ridge Drive. And we're requesting 2 variances this evening. One, an FAR variance of sorry, I have to look at my notes.
21?
309, an increase over the allowable of 3,011 to 3,320. And the other variance that we're asking for tonight is a front height setback ratio variance that this evening we discovered is incorrect and actually quite dramatically reduced. And I have some documentation to show you that will demonstrate that the number is actually, that we're only asking is 0.9. The true number, 0.8649, but we're going to ask for a little bit of leeway from you, but it's a dramatic decrease from the 1.15 that was asked for in the application.
Is the building inspector aware of that?
No, because we just figured this out tonight as we were preparing for this meeting. So I am happy to present you all with some sealed sets of the demonstration.
Was this a eureka moment that you found it, or that you
So-
came up with a brilliant idea
No.
this morning?
I wish I could say that. I believe this was
Todd, I'm not going to review it now. I mean, if you want to, just continue with your presentation, but, I'm not going to review it now. That's something you got to give me prior to the meeting.
I understand. I'm just wanted to explain that
Yeah, please,
we could change.
please go to the podium so that the audience can hear you.
We could potentially change the resolution to reduce the variance being requested.
That's what I was going to ask Mr. Fuse, because historically, we don't change things on the fly. And so I'll ask village council,
Yeah,
what are the concerns about changing a number in the variance at this particular point without due notice?
sure. So the basis for the applicant coming to this board at this time is a notice of disapproval, rather, that's issued by the building inspector. He would have to issue a new notice of disapproval, and we would effectively have to,
I am sorry, I hate to interrupt, but even if we're reducing the amount of the variance that was requested?
right,
because we're
even if you're reducing it, he would still have to revise his notice of disapproval, and then that would effectively come before the ZBA. So it's,
So could I then continue with my presentation, hoping to be granted a variance for the incorrect number of 1.15?
so you could continue with the presentation, but Steve would have to obviously review the plans, and, you know, if he's not in a position to be able to do that tonight, I don't want to put him on the spot either. I understand that it's a reduction in the size of the variance, but, you know, he would effectively have to look at everything that he's being given now and offer guidance to the board, and I don't, if
Yeah,
you're
it's a
comfortable doing that.
procedural, it's procedural, you know, and like you said, I mean, because the board's gonna vote on what the denial letter that's been already, you know, issued, so if we need to change it, I mean, that's a lot of moving parts. I would have to revise you'd have to make a new resolution, the board would have to, you know, so, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing that, but like I said, it's a
Part of
procedural
the
thing.
problem, I think, is that if one error was discovered, another error potentially can be discovered. And without the official review of the building inspector, I'm reticent to go ahead and approve anything without official review.
Can I throw
And
some?
the board
can-
technically wouldn't have jurisdiction to be able to review this application until a revised disapproval is issued by Steve.
Can I just, because I sometimes talk without thinking it through, because it's just, you know, I don't have time. So if this gentleman came here with a variance for a driveway for 500 square feet and didn't say anything, and then he presents, and then we say, you know what, we'll ask for something less. When that happens, do they then, they have to come back, right? And then, so they can't do that either if everything was before you, it wouldn't make a difference, right? So he could say, you know, we'll take less on that driveway, we'll grant it. Right.
In my 14, 15 years, I've never approved an application with a revision on the fly.
Right.
And that's across several building inspectors and several chairs. So I really don't feel comfortable starting now.
It's
Yeah.
jurisdictional,
Yeah.
and, you know, I don't want to be a pain in the
But that's
ass.
why you're here, Bob, to be official as a lawyer.
Steve would have to issue a new disapproval, which effectively then comes to the
Right.
board.
Right, and that was my point, that I think, you know, I originally think, can you do it? But then as I thought about it, I don't recall it ever being done, that we acquiesce, we say, can you come back with a different plan? And you have to come back anyway.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, and I'm not trying to put Steve on the spot, or this board, in fact, but it, you know, this is, what this amounts to is a mathematical error that translated into the paperwork. It's a simple demonstration of the fix that shows the distances and the heights, you know, and spits out a new number.
Sorry.
As opposed to, that is drastically lower than the
Understood.
number
Yeah,
that
but-
was noticed in error.
Yeah.
So I mean, if the public is being somehow harmed in this, it's that, you know, we're reducing the harm to the community.
But I think as
just- so
Steve said, then we'd have to kind of, on the fly look at the angles, the numbers, the math, and it's kind of not the appropriate.
Well, I just think the assertion that we would have to review every aspect of, of the plans to fix this one miscalculation.
Well, then again,
is
I don't even think
inaccurate.
it's up to us,
But
so.
I mean, it is up to you, and if.
Well, let
It's up to us.
me add this, part of it is that, having the revised plans, of the plan, having the revised plans, of what you guys are gonna vote on and gonna approve, is what's been submitted, it's posted online, you guys have it
Well, I was gonna
prior.
ask you, what
Yes.
about the notification? What does the applicant have to do? Probably just repost but not issue letters again, is that correct?
Yeah, he's reducing the request of the variance, so it's not like,
So there's no cost of re-lettering everybody with the notification, just the signage?
I would say no, but I defer to Bob, I would say no.
Yeah, I would think they would have to renotice everything. They would have to renotice the mailings, and they would have to renotice the signs.
Can that be done in time for the August meeting?
Sure, yeah, it's still the first of the month, that can be done, I mean, we can.
Well, technically, you have the revision in hand now, so they've met that
Well,
deadline.
I would submit an entire new set of plans then, if that's what you regard. This was a supplemental page that just demonstrates the calculations for the front yard height setback ratio. So
Yeah, okay, then I would go
At
ahead.
that point, we would just resubmit a new set of plans with the corrections and have him renotice, and then we would have to go through the entire procedure. And I quite frankly want to go on record and say that is absurd. folks.
Understood,
That is absurd.
understood.
Well, look, on the opposite side of the coin, if a neighbor wakes up and gets frustrated, even if it's a smaller variance, I understand, but it's, it's to also protect your clients and the sanctity of the resolution that would come from the board. So I understand that it's a smaller variance and you guys are here, I know it's wonky, but I think to protect the resolution that you guys might get from the board and also to protect the resolution that comes from the board, I think it would be best if we just resubmit it.
And I think the other.
The area where any board is most vulnerable is if it violates procedure. And this would be an example of a violation of a procedure which in and of itself could be grounds for a reversal by a court, the higher court. So I would prefer, as chair of this committee, to stay within our official procedures, even if it appears to be odd.
Can I ask a question that obviously is unfair, but I want to ask it anyway? In reviewing this application, was there anything about this application that you were alarmed about or that, was leading you in a direction that you weren't going to vote in favor of it?
That would
You can't answer
depend,
that question.
that would depend
I
on the
withdraw.
discussion.
This is a nothing application, in my opinion. I have evidence to show that this board has actually granted variances that are a lot larger than this in the neighborhood in question. And I think this is just a procedural problem that does injury to my client, quite honestly, because it's going to postpone us another month. We're going to have to redo all the mailings and the signage for a reduced number. Period.
It might harm them, but to be candid, the fault really lies with someone else and not us. And when,
I'm not blaming you.
Right.
I'm
when,
taking
but-
responsibility
yeah,
for
but
the
when
fact
there's-
that we
when
have,
there's a
we have in
right.
error placed a
Right.
higher
No, I understand.
number on it, but to be subject to re-notification and reappearance for a lower variance seems punitive. That's all I have to say.
All right,
So
thank you,
We'll adjourn till next month and we'll renotice.
thank you,
That's all we can do, right?
okay. That's why I want to get a clarification as to what had to be done.
I mean, I understand, it's, at the end of the day, it's legal matters. I mean, but I am under the belief that this body should have the ability to grant a lower than requested variance. I just think it seems absurd that you don't have that power to grant a lower than requested variance.
We can, if the application before us is current. We have the ability to say, go back, revise your application, and submit it to us. But we are not going to tell an applicant what to do or how to do it. It's up to them to present to us an application, ready to be judged.
So,
And this is not ready to be judged.
so if I mean, all right, we'll go through all the procedural,
Yeah,
again.
yeah, the other thing, and I completely understand, and I'd be frustrated.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean-
and this is what I say to all my clients when I was practicing law. Who's right? And the answer is, depends who's paying me. So, you know, I believe that, so I understand your position. You know, one of the things that we strive for is consistency, and I can't think of what'll happen if something came like this again. But Don's been here longer than me and has always been concerned about, you know, protocol, procedure and consistency. And could something like this happen that wouldn't be as, you know, minute as this? And then, but you did this before. So I think we follow counsel
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
blame
mean,
the
it's-
attorney.
Well, we
That's
don't
the
have any
answer.
choice but to follow counsel.
Right, and that's, I don't even know why we're still
And-
talking
and
about
look, you
this.
know, also
I
in
mean,
terms of-
he told us we can't do it, and
Yeah.
we gotta move on.
In terms of the notification, don't quote me, I'll take a look at the code and I'll speak with Tara. And we can let you know as to whether or not you just have to repost or whether you have to go through with the mailings again.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to update the sign in the yard as well.
Well, yeah, look, I'll take a look at the code between now and tomorrow morning, and we'll get an answer to you. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I encouraged them to sort of just,
I understand. No,
You know.
it's frustrating, but I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll see you next month.
Okay.
We will renotice.
All right. Bob, do we need a request for adjournment, motion? Okay,
Okay, move for an adjournment for next month?
okay, seconded?
Second.
Okay, motion approved.
Okay, thank you.
Very good.
So Steve, do you just not want this at all then, and I'll just send you a whole.
We have a summary. Are we ready to make a motion to approve the June summary?
Yes.
So moved.
Seconded?
Second.
Okay, the June summary has been approved. Motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'd rather second that. Motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.